Good day, guys. I'm Steven Rosario, your teacher, and I hope that everyone is okay and in good position. I'm so happy because of the ambience of the art class environment. The room smells good and clean. So before the start of the class, I will check the attendance first. Once I call your name, say present to be acknowledged. Aquino Roel B,
Present, sir.
Alberto Eusebio T,
Present, sir.
Bagnedo George R,
Present, sir.
Binondo Darren V,
Present, sir.
Kagiwa Jar F.
Present, sir.
Before the start of our formal discussion, we will play a game entitled Puck or Bluff. This activity will able to give you insights about our lesson later. So prepare yourself, I will mention the mechanics so don't feel the pressure, class. Number one mechanic is good job everyone for the awesome learning in our activity. Now, let's proceed to our discussion. You see that I'm holding a laptop because we will use this as an instruction material for a video presentation. So better to watch and listen carefully because after the video, I will ask some questions to have interaction between you as my students and I as your teacher. Welcome to another episode of EduAction, an online platform that gives you a notable learning that you can learn from school. For today's video, we will tackle about developing of instructional design in social studies. When we say instructional design, it is a systematic process of translating general principles of learning and instruction into plans for instructional materials. Instructional design is the systematic development of instructional specifications using learning and instructional theory to ensure the quality of instruction. Let's move on to the theory of instructional design. During the World War II, a considerable amount of training materials for the military were developed based on the principles of instruction, learning, and human behavior. Tests for assessing learners' abilities were used to screen candidates in the army. After the success of military training, psychologists began to view training as a system and develop various analysis, design, and evaluation process or procedures. On purpose of instructional design, the first one is it helps the teacher to develop his or her capacity to teach more students and create conducive environment for them. Second, it helps the curriculum makers to plan learning center and curriculum which provides a variety of educational experience to students. Third, it helps to make materials and create more interesting and effective instruction materials and learning sources. Fourth, it stimulates to develop the new educational forms and educational opportunities which will replace the schools of today. On the benefits and limitations, our advantages and disadvantages are present too. Number one advantage is support effective, efficient, and appealing instruction. Number two, facilitates congruence among objectives, activities, and assessment. Number three, provides a systematic framework for dealing with learning problems. And number four, learning effectiveness. On the disadvantages side, number one, instructional design does not have limits of applicability. It is not the solution to all the ills and problems of education and training, nor it is the only method for creating education. Number two, time-consuming in a way that it takes time to learn how to follow the instructional design procedures and time to implement them when the training being created. And last, number three, a good instructional design requires a number of resources. Before the end of the video, I hope that you learned something about the developing of instructional design in social studies. If there are, can you comment down your insight or thoughts? Bye-bye! I'm pretty sure that a video you watched has given you insights, information, and knowledge about developing of instructional designs in social studies. Please listen to our discussion first before creating any noise because I will give a short quiz later. But now, let's begin to the terms that merely use or has connected to the video presentation. The first one is the instructional, which is the root word was instruction, which means the deliberate arrangement of learning conditions to promote the attainment of some intended goal according to Driscoll of 1994, and instructional is a set of events that facilitate learning. A design is a creative, pattern, or rational, logical, sequential process intended to solve problems. And a model is a mental picture that helps us understand something we cannot see or experience directly, based on Darien, Damon, and Gable in 1990. According to the video, what is the definition of instructional design? Anyone please? Yes, Sheila Riskid?
Sir, based on what I heard on the video presentation, instructional design is the systematic development of instructional specification using learning and instructional theory to ensure the quality of instruction.
Very good, Sheila. Can we give her a round of applause, class? Additional information is that instructional design is the entire process of analysis of learning needs and goals and the development of a delivery system to meet those needs. Instructional designs includes development of instructional materials and activities and chart out and evaluation of all instruction and learning activities. On the history of instructional design, the birth of it is strongly related on the one hand to emergence of empirical research in psychology and education, and on the other to specific needs of the system. On the purpose of instructional design, first, it helps the teacher to develop his or her capacity to teach more students and create conducive environment for them. Second, it helps curriculum makers to plan learning center and curriculum which provides a variety of educational experience to students. Oh yes, can you say something, Mr. Eusebio? You have my permission to speak now.
Yes, sir. Another purpose of instructional design is it helps to make materials and create more interesting and effective instructional material and learning sources, and it stimulates to develop the new educational forms and educational opportunities which will replace the schools of today.
So much thank you for that, Mr. Eusebio. Kindly give him a round of applause, class. And also, you already know the advantages and disadvantages of instructional design and no need to discuss further. As time goes quickly, I will give you 10 minutes to have a short review regarding our lesson developing of instructional design in social studies. And now, kindly prepare a 1/4 sheet of paper and answer the quiz through slides on monitor within 5 minutes. But first, read carefully the instruction for you to have a perfect score. Good job, class. I'm happy for the scores you get because of the effort to listen and interact with me. Before we end this meeting, kindly copy your assignment to be passed tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye, class. God bless us all.